Hey everyone, this is Patrick Lucas from the Indigenous Youth Mountain Bike Program, and this week we're in Namaygoosisagagun, a Anishinaabeg community in northwestern Ontario at the north end of Collins Lake, north of the city of Thunder Bay. And we were invited to the community by the Chief Angela, to come and help do a trail assessment and look at what kind of opportunities they have for trails. We've figured out some really good trails to start with. The first one is we're going to look at building a walking, biking trail to a culture area where they've built some cabins and a sauna, and it's become a really important space for the community. So that's going to be our first focus. Okay, so already here we would need to build a little bridge. That'd be easy enough. It's this part, like I think we'd have to pull up some of this, and like that's just sitting on an old log, so that would have to be pulled up. There you go. And then you got this whole scene here. I mean, we'd have to, I think we'd have to pull up some of this anyways. Like we could reuse these things.
Yeah.
But
not like that.
Yeah, we'd have to resituate this. We may end up wanting to do a crib right here, but we could just lay down some logs and build a better bridge and just make it a little more stable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all swampy here. Water.
This is rock. This is great. So we could probably, basically we could probably just build a crib here. Like that's pretty solid ground. So but maybe we pick everything up and have a look at it all. Okay, so we have here like a kind of a rough staircase. This will have to be taken out. Now the chief wants to make this rideable, but this is a pretty gentle slope, so I think we could do just a ramp, which would be pretty easy to build. Now this part really rocky, so it's either going to be filling it up with sand or building another bridge right over it. And we have wood for days, so we could probably just do boardwalk. I don't think it would be that hard. And then we start getting onto some nicer ground. We get into some nice terrain here. This would be, just, if anything, just cut a path or just show where to walk. Keep them in one spot. A little bit of digging. Just to smooth everything out, sand and gravel down. Should be pretty straightforward. And then into some really rocky ground here. So again, mostly infill. Super pretty through here. Yeah, I think it's gonna make for a really nice walk. It's the kind of thing that excites me where, we come to the community and they told us about a small cultural area that they had built a short ways away from the community. And there's an informal trail that they've maintained over the years, and they'd like to make it more accessible, make the trail easier. So we measured out, it's 0.96 kilometers from the community. They often access it by boat or snowmobile in the winter. So our goal is to redesign and rebuild the trail and build it up to make it way more accessible for elders, for community members, to allow them to access the spot. It's a beautiful little section down by the lake. You know, people return to the community in the summer and in the winter for this space explicitly. So the more we can do to make it accessible, the better. So that's our goal here. Oh, this is all really pretty here. We're right above the lake. So this would make for a really nice walk. Yeah, and then we have some really nice forest. You know, a lot of this would just be, could even just be rake and go. Ooh, black flies are like biting through my shirt right now. The goal is to make this as elder friendly as possible. There's a few parts where we can change the routing a little bit just to make it a little easier. Like we could come up through here. A little bit of rerouting just to keep the climbs down as much as possible. Yeah, so good. Okay, so this is one section where we're thinking, like, if we don't do it on this trip, but this could be a potential reroute. So we got a little bit of a sustained climb here. As you can see, Adele walking up ahead of me. So where we may be able to cut a little lower. So she's off the trail now, kind of cutting off upper section where we could build a trail through a rougher section. We did some digging yesterday. It's not too rocky, and we kind of cut off a piece of this climb. However, that may end up being unnecessary. Like, you have to climb no matter what, but it would make for a nicer section, so we'll see about that. So this is going to be one of our pinch points. So we have a trail comes along the side of the hill, and then basically the informal trail has developed that it cuts down this slope here to just above the lake. And our goal is going to be cut straight through there and reconnect with the trail down a little ways. So you can probably see some of our markers. This is going to be one of the harder parts to build, but Adele and I are both pretty confident that it can be done. What's your confidence level, Adele?
Oh, yeah, way better than this option.
Yeah, 100%. This is where a lot of elders would get to, and they would have to stop here. So if we fix this, we create something that's much more accessible. We've really created something special that people can get to without being on a boat. Let's see if we can do it. You can see here, trail cuts down the slope pretty hard here. Pretty steep and rocky. A lot of leaves would make it slippery. So this would be inaccessible to a lot of folks. Yeah, you see behind me here. Let's get some good shots of the slope. This is the kind of trail that I really look for in a community. Something that kind of exists but can be fixed up. Something that really means something to the community. You know, if you can build a trail out to this cultural asset, you have such an impact on the community, like the health and well-being of the people who live here full time, the people who come and visit. If we can help them fix that up, that's a big deal. Now we're having an impact. This is the stuff that gets me really excited. Right, and then after that short piece down the hill, now we're in a really nice spot. Walking alongside of the lake. Got a little bit of signs of bear here. They've been digging in the soil to find bugs. We've been told that there's a bear hanging out along here. We haven't seen him yet. Haven't seen too many signs of scat either, so, but we know he's around. And this part of the forest is absolutely gorgeous. You know, something like this, like we could basically rake and go, maybe dig it out a little bit more, but absolutely beautiful. Right. However, this is where our trail would link back up. So we would skip that whole side hill and come right down here to this really beautiful patch of forest. Really just a couple of key pinch points on this trail to make it so much more accessible and usable. A key thing is, once we get this built, you know, we always talk about, you know, maintenance is so crucial. Trails like this are like, you know, fussy little kittens. they need to be cared for. They need to be maintained. The brush has to be cut back every year, but it doesn't take that much, and it gets easier over time as the vegetation grows around the trail. Hopefully you have to cut less. Every ecosystem is a bit different. You know, I haven't worked much in Ontario at all yet, so this is all new. But you know, once the community gets used to maintaining it, they figure out the perfect schedule to do it. They know when they have to go out to cut, so that they cut at just the right time. They catch the growth cycle, and they don't have to keep cutting as much. And every community is a little bit different. We always recommend do a big maintenance push in the fall. Catch the vegetation going into a dormant stage, and cut it back. Because if you cut it in the spring, you're catching the vegetation as it's going into its growth cycle. So, you know, you're actually encouraging more growth when you cut it back, because it'll come back more aggressively. That can be a bit counterintuitive, but that can make a big difference in terms of the amount of effort and time that has to go into maintaining. So it'll be like, you know, September, come in and cut down as much as you can, because it'll make it that much easier when you come back in the spring and you have to do some maintenance. Okay, and here we are at the culture site. So this is a space that they built as a community. We've got a series of cabins and a sauna that they built for themselves. Cool. So this is a really important space to them. So this is what we want to get to. This is what we want to help them access more efficiently, more easily for the elders, and just community members overall. Got some cabins. People do come out here and stay here at different times of the year. Let's go have a look at one. Let's see if this guy's open. Ooh, there's some bugs there. And this is just a beautiful space inside. This must be pretty new. Space it's insulated. Nothing in here right now, so you can see they have a space there for a stove. So this would be just a gorgeous space. And even now in the summer, like, this is actually kind of fairly cool in here. So, you know, really nice space. All right, let's keep going. That's a couple cabins over there. Let's go check out the sauna. Here we have a, fire pit, learning circle. You know, I think it'd be a good idea to build some more benches out here, make them a little bit more permanent. You know, this is pretty informal, but it wouldn't take much to build this up into something really nice. Right, Adele?
Yeah.
See yourself out here chilling? And over here, we have the sauna. Check this out. This is a beautiful little amenity we have right here. You know? Get these bugs away from me. Yeah, little space, little stove inside. Absolutely beautiful. We are definitely going to have to come back and try that out. The fire pit out here and then the lake. This is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that just gets me super stoked and excited. We can help them, access this place better and turn it into the kind of cultural community amenity that they've been looking for. Absolutely gorgeous.